Good morning, everybody. This is Pooja Arora with the Media and Entertainment Skills Council. We welcome you all to a new month, a new day, a new session. Yes, our Creative Warrior programs providing you online free masterclasses on social media marketing today. So this month, this week is going to be very, very happening because we have so many things coming up this week. So before we start, I'd like to welcome you all. And yes, I would love to tell you that we are getting a lot of love and a lot of appreciation from everybody. And we are happy that you are liking our sessions and you're liking our programs. Do keep registering on all our sessions and get the benefit, learn a new skill. Yes, so today is about social media marketing. So social media marketing क्या होता है? Social media marketing is like internet marketing that involves creating and sharing content on social media networks in order to achieve marketing and branding goals of the organization. अभी चाहे वो organization छोटा हो या बड़ा हो, everybody wants to establish their market. Everybody wants to establish their brand. So social media has become one platform where even if they cannot go offline branding, social media branding is becoming very, very popular and is a part of any organization. इसीलिए यहाँ पे opportunities भी काफी बढ़ गए हैं. So आगे तो we have our expert, Mr. Ashutosh Sharma. He will tell you about social media marketing. I'll tell you about Mr. Ashutosh Sharma. Mr. Ashutosh Sharma is a managing director at Great Content and Digital Solutions. He started his career in advertising in 1994. He worked on brands such as Duracell, Seagram, Reckitt and Benckiser and Microsoft. He moved from advertising to marketing as a head of marketing and product uh, in an online gaming company headquartered in Singapore and launched and managed India's first game. He was a head of marketing at Indiatimes, managing over 19 brands, and started his own digital marketing company in 2015 and managed digital marketing for brands like Monster Jobs, HealthifyMe, Doctor 24/7, Ekya Schools and Innovations Company of UAE. Apart from a digital marketing person, he's a golfer, he's a certified executive coach and a corporate trainer. Welcome, Ashutosh sir.
Hello everybody, how are you?
So I think everybody is ready with their learnings on. And guys, you all will get a chance to ask your question in a Q&A. And yes, because this is a master class, you will also get to answer your, speak up and talk to our instructor here. So when Mr. Sharma is asking you question, you raise hand, and based on the raised hands, he will decide who's going to talk now. So be ready and be very, very attentive so you do not miss out on anything. All right, sir. So hand it over to you.
All right. Hi everybody, and thank you, Pooja. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am going to start today by talking about the basics of social media marketing. So I want to start right from the beginning, just so that all of you who are freshers out here do not feel left out. So I just want to start by sharing my presentation. Pooja, if you can help me with that.
Yes, let me see. Now,
what I would like is this session and all the future sessions to be interactive, so we can talk to each other. Anytime I ask you a question, like Pooja said, please use the button raise hands, and I will just choose one person or two people to answer, and then we can take it from there, so that everybody can participate and not just listen. I would like it to be slightly more interactive. So please feel free to raise your hand, and Pooja or me will allow you to then talk, and then we can take this session forward. I hope that is okay and fine with everybody.
I think I'll turn on the chat section also so they can interact easily. And the questions only in the Q&A section.
Yes.
Yes. And here everybody can send messages also.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
All right, great. So starting with introduction to social media marketing. What is social media marketing? And Pooja gave a really nice and easy description about what social media is. But social media per se, if you were to define what it stands for, it's a web-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through the building of virtual networks and communities. I would like to explain each of these terms out here. When you say it is a web-based technology, the entire interaction resides on the internet. The entire software resides on the internet. All the interaction that happens on the internet. You just download an interface which allows you to connect to the internet application, and all the interaction and all the exchange of ideas, everything happens out there, right? So that is the first thing that you should keep in mind. The other thing is, it is a platform for sharing of ideas and thoughts. Today, you might have, so if you look at Twitter, if you go and see Twitter, there are a lot of people who are sharing opinions. There are a lot of people who are sharing their thoughts. There are people who are sharing ideas. In fact, I don't know how many of you know, but Twitter is globally acknowledged as one of the platforms where venture capitalists are most visible, because they find new business ideas and new business owners on Twitter. So it's a great place for them to go and explore what is happening and see how those ideas are being generated. You can also share your thoughts. You might have an opinion about a political situation. You might have an opinion about anybody else, your celebrities or anything else. Uh, you can share your thoughts about that. It is very democratic. There is no restriction. Of course, you cannot get abusive and all those kind of things. But in general, if you are looking at exchanging thoughts, social media is the platform where you can go and do it. The other thing is information through building virtual networks and communities. What does that mean? That means social media is the one place where you can find people and interact with people who have the same ideas, thoughts, and likes and dislikes like you. You can create communities. I don't know, I'm sure how many of you must be part of groups on Facebook, or how many of you follow a specific hashtag on Twitter, because that is something that appeals to you. Like I have a lot of friends that I haven't met, but we share a common passion in golf. And I'm able to chat with them, I am able to interact with them. I have never met them, but I am part of that community of people who then love to talk and love to interact about what's happening in the world of golf. Okay, so that is what social media actually enables us to do. The other fact about of social media really is that social media is about interacting of one person with many and many with one, which means it is more than just one-on-one interaction. One person can talk to multiple people, and multiple people can talk to one person. That is the basic characteristics of social media, and that one person can talk to the other person also through a community. So it is connecting large groups of people with individuals, and individuals with large groups of people. That is what the democracy of social media is all about. And there is a reason I say the word democracy of social media, because there are no restrictions in terms of sharing your ideas, sharing your thoughts. There are very limited instructions that you need to follow to be able to interact. It's easy to use, and literally everybody who's over the age of 13 is allowed to sign in and become part of a global community. So having said that, I would like to say that how do I classify if something becomes a social media or not? What are the characteristics of a social media? What are the things that make it qualify into becoming a social media? So if I was to look at that, the things that make any media a social media is that the users themselves are the content creators. If you are an individual, you create your own content. Nobody else does. Nobody comes and posts content for you, which you can go and use yourself. You can be a company. You can be a media company. You can be anybody else. But as a user of the social media, you create the content on the social media. That is the first rule of social media. The second rule of being a social media is that it gives you instant communication, which means your thought is sent to a set of global people immediately. It is shared immediately on the social media, whatever you might be saying. Of course, social medias have some filters, etc., which monitor what the kind of information you're sharing. But it is almost instantly shared across the globe. Your thoughts can be shared with anybody. There is no geographical restriction to the amount of to who can access this information. And that's where the third point comes in. You're immediately connected to the entire human race. It's global interconnectedness. You can be somebody who loves, say, art sitting in Delhi, and you can be then talking to somebody who also loves art sitting in Australia. And suddenly, as a global community, you are connected with each other. Those are the characteristics of social media. The other thing is network, which means you allow people to interact with each other, you allow people to talk to each other and jointly share their opinion. And that is the formation of the community. The community has a common goal, which is, say, an appreciation of the art, appreciation of golf, appreciation of cricket, whatever that community goal is. And of course, the cornerstone of a social media, the most important part, is communication. You can chat with anybody, you can interact with anybody, you can share videos, you can even video chat with people on social media. So these are the characteristics of a social media. I hope this is clear for everybody at this stage. Yeah, okay. Going forward. What are the components? So what are the things that make it most important to have a social media? I'm sorry if I'm taking it very basic, because I'm assuming there must be few people who are very new and need to be covered. We need to cover this for them. But the most important components are that if the website resides on a web space, it has its own web address. The users are given that unique address, and that becomes their web identity. So, for example, your page might have facebook.com/Pooja Arora 9678, something like that. That becomes your address. So every individual on the social media network has his own address. So I don't know how many of you have noticed that when you are on your social network, you actually have an address, right? It's not just facebook.com, but it's facebook.com/whatever, and your name, your identity that is created. That is your web address. That is the web address of your profile and all the content that you have created. The other component of social media is that you build your own profile. You share with people your personal details like name, address, date of birth, your school, college education, professional details. The site then mines that personal data to connect individuals. So you must be always wondering, why am I giving likes? Or why does my profile ask me what are the things I follow? What are the things that, what are the movies I have watched? What are the books I have read? All those kind of things. I know there is a lot of controversy about sharing of personal data. Yes, that is one negative side of social media that has been exploited by few people. But the basic reason you are able to create a community and meet like-minded people on social media is because of the extent of which your profile information is given. Because you share that you have a passion for Indian music, or you have a passion for books, or you have a passion for poetry, that is the way that social media is able to connect you with people who have similar likes and dislikes. So when you have something like recommended friends that comes up on Facebook, that is because Facebook at the back end is analyzing, saying Ashutosh and Pooja both like Indian music, and they should be friends because they can interact with each other. So that is the kind of logic that works in the back end. Therefore, building those profiles and building those extensive profiles is important for your interactiveness on that social media. The fourth component, of course, is connect with friends. The, the more the more information you share, the more it becomes relevant to the people who are your friends. Your friends want to know what are your updates, what is happening in your life, and likewise you want to know. And you want to know what's happening in your friends, relatives' lives, what are the things that they are up to, and that is what brings all of you together. We all know that we cannot keep in touch with all our friends and all our relatives at all the time. But through social media, we are able to get an update, almost an instant update about what is happening in their lives, how are they doing, what is the new event, and we are able to actually participate in that. So there is a higher degree of connectivity with everybody, like friends, family, etc. You can actually, the next point really is about uploading content in real time. You are actually provided with tools to post content in real times. Content can be like text, it can be just a simple text message, it can be images, audio, video, and even emoticons and emojis and all those kind of things, right? So that again becomes a platform to it is a form of content that you are uploading. The fact that you put up an emoticon which just says a smile says something about how you're feeling. It tells all your friends and followers that that is an emotion you're feeling, and it goes and it is spread to your entire network. The other thing, of course, is enabling conversations. Like I said, others, you're given rights to comment on posts made by friends and relatives, and the conversations are a great social connect. So for example, you can actually debate with somebody else online. You can share ideas, you can share opinions with somebody else, and all posts also have a timestamp, so you actually have a chronological order of how your conversations happen. What you're not realizing today is that, say 20 years from now, maybe when you go back to your page and you see your entire conversation, you actually have a historical timeline of your entire life. You can actually see on this date, on this at this time, I shared my opinion about this, and I interacted with so many people. It is almost like keeping a record of your personal life, day to day, hour by hour. And that is what social media ultimately becomes. It becomes a way of us to preserve our history on a daily basis, right? So that is the power of social media. Uh, we have spoken a lot about social media. That the one thing that you might obviously ask is, what are the types of social media? What are the different types? I mean, we all know the popular ones. We all know Facebook. We all know Instagram. We all know Twitter. We all know Pinterest. We all know YouTube. We know all of those. But what are the actual number of social media that exist in the world? If you look at it in entirety, there are 9 different types of social media. Why is this information important for somebody who is stepping into understanding social media marketing? Why this information is important? First, you need to understand what social media's strengths and weaknesses are. So that was what I covered so far. What does social media allow you to do? Tomorrow, if you have a client and he comes to you and say, I want to do XYZ on social media, the first thing you should be able to know, does that fit the role of social media? A lot of people come to me and say, आप ad डाल दीजिए social media पे. But I tell them, sir, social media is not for putting just ads. Social media is about interacting with your customers. You know, popularizing your product by conversing, having two-way interaction with your customers, answering their questions. Just putting an ad is utilizing Facebook to only 5% of its potential. There is so much more you can do. So my recommendation to clients who come and say ad डाल दीजिए is, sir आप ad यहाँ मत डालिए, आप कहीं और डाल दीजिए, आप Google के network पे डाल दीजिए. But don't waste the potential of Facebook or any of the social media if all you want to do is put an ad, because one, you will not get the returns that you want because your objective is not clear. The objective of social media should be interactivity, right? The second point I wanted to make was the 9 types of social media. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because, again, depending on the objective of your campaign, you need to know which is the right social media for it as we go ahead. So if you look at point number 1, the first one is social networks, which is how you create networks with people, which allows you to connect with people. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram all fall Facebook and Twitter fall out in that zone. It allows you to simply connect with people and create networks. The next level of it is media sharing networks, right? This is again a network of people like YouTube, like Instagram, where you are uploading videos, you're uploading photos and interacting with each other. People come and comment on your content, you are able to interact with them. So interactivity, like I said, will be a common theme across all social media. Then there is discussion forums. So discussion forums, I don't know how many of you have been to Reddit, but Reddit is one of the globe's biggest platforms for idea exchange. And I would encourage you to please go and see if you have a passion, you should go and see the extent of how big the communities on Reddit are, the kind of information that is shared. There are some really strong Reddit communities around passions of people, and you will find a Reddit page for almost anything you can think about. There are, it could be a passion in art, it could be writing, it could be calligraphy, it could be golf, it could be anything. It could even, if you like to just have fish tanks in your house and you want to talk to somebody about the beautiful fishes, there will be a page out there, right? So there is a discussion forum for that. So that is the power of a global discussion forum like Reddit. And of course, there is Quora. I think all of us know about Quora, all of us interact on Quora, where you can share news and ideas, ask questions of experts. So for example, I have a page on Quora, which I answer a lot of questions out there about content marketing, about digital marketing, about golf, and I have followers who then ask me questions, etc., and then we can interact with each other. It has also ultimately helped me generate business for my company, because people see me as an expert in digital marketing, they see me as an expert on social media marketing, and then they can see I'm answering questions. They then get in touch with me for their business, right? So that becomes a good place to also work as a company. Then there are something called bookmarking and content curation. So Pinterest falls in that category. You're actually pinning all the content that is relevant or important to you in a single place. So Pinterest, for example, is a great place for people in the creative fields. You will see a lot of people who are in fields like, say, fashion designing or accessory developments or any of those artistic areas. They collect ideas from all over the internet and paste them in one place on their Pinterest page. And that helps them generate ideas for their own business. You want to see what other people are doing. It inspires you to create ideas of your own. You are able to see and curate all the things you like that you can be putting out here. Flipboard is an easy way to consume content. So the bookmarking and content curation type of social media basically helps you discover, save, and share content. I would encourage you to please use uh, both Flipboard as well as Pinterest. They're extremely interesting areas. I have created a page where I like to see what people are doing on social media marketing or what people are doing in digital marketing. I can pin articles out there, I can pin ads out there, I can pin campaigns. And tomorrow, if I'm struggling to find an idea for a client, I just quickly go check what are the things I have saved there. And suddenly an idea comes. Oh, okay, this is another way of approaching this problem, right? So these are again very, very helpful type of social media. Then there is consumer review networks. Point number 5. I think most of you would be aware of Zomato. It tells you what is the restaurant reviews, what are the restaurant's ratings, what is its menu card. You can order the food from there. Or there is TripAdvisor. I mean, today, 90% of the people look at TripAdvisor even before they choose their next holiday destination or the best hotel in that holiday destination. So it has become a consumer review network where you can find and review businesses. It becomes the source of genuine information from and about that business, right? So next we talk about the blogging and publishing networks. I'm not sure how many of you know about Medium. Medium is a fast growing platform where you can blog and share your ideas. It is a very powerful medium which helps propagate your content. So if you have a passion for something and you want to write blogs and share ideas, share your content with people, Medium is a great platform to start going and blogging and sharing that idea. It's a great way to publish, discover, and comment on ideas. So in fact, I would encourage you to please go on Medium. It has a paid component, so there are only a limited number of articles that you can see on Medium. But for all of you who are curious, I would recommend please go to Medium and see the quality of content and the quality of blogs that are available for the people to see. And similarly, there is Tumblr, which has aggregated content, which allows people to aggregate passion area content and start blogging out there. Then there are interest-based networks like Goodreads, Last.fm. Goodreads is possibly one of the best resources on the internet for you to discover new books. If you are somebody who loves to read and loves to see, loves to discover new books all the time, Goodreads is again like a Zomato or a TripAdvisor for books. People read books, they review books, they share their comments on that, and you are able to discover new areas and new topics that you might not discover if you go into a bookshop. A bookshop can at best at any one point of time show you how many, 2,000 books, 2,500 books, maybe lesser. But on Goodreads, you are suddenly exposed to lakhs and lakhs of books, which are then segregated by interest, sub-interest, geographical interest, by authors, all of those things. It becomes very easy for you to discover new books. Then there are social shopping networks that are coming. I don't know how many of you know about Mass Drop or Groupon. These are also social networks. It is shopping online as a community. On Mass Drop, actually the company is doing very well. You get really precious items which are sold on Mass Drop. So they will have, say, for a very, very high-end set of headphones, which is unaffordable by regular people, but they would say 50,000 rupee headphone, which will be available for just 30,000 rupees because 20 people decide to buy it together. So they can go and buy as a community. And similar is the concept of Groupon, right? And then there is the sharing economy networks. Sharing economy means multiple people are looking for a service and they're able to share that together. For example, Airbnb. A person owns a house, he has a spare room, he can lend it to somebody for temporarily. Uber, you have a car. See, the concept of Uber in India is very different from the concept actually that exists overseas. Here we need a license and stuff like that. Technically, Uber was that if you had a car in the US, you can apply for a quick license and start on the side generating money by running an Uber service. So you can actually trade in goods and services. These are the different types of social media. Your next question would be, okay, show me the universe. How many social media are there? Because right now the mind is boggling because there are so many social media. Let me boggle your mind a little bit more. Can you see this wheel? Are you all able to see the contents in the middle? If that is you in the middle here, please follow my cursor. And if your objective is to either listen, engage, learn, or co-create, and then from there, as a brand, either you're a brand, you're a persona, or a community, you can expand out to whatever you want to do. These are the various listed social media as we know today. Whether they are discussion and forums, there's Wiki. So Wikipedia is also a type of social media. Business networking, LinkedIn comes in that. Yeah. Whether you're looking at service networking, reviews and ratings. So there is, of course, Yelp in this. Social curation, video creation and sharing, content networking, events, music, live streaming. Yeah, all of these are there as options in social media. There is not one single person who has been able to count as to how many social media exists. I'm hoping that will be a very exciting project as we go ahead. But as of now, no single count exists as to how many social media actually out there, because there are some social media which talk only to a small community. So there are social medias that people have created for their own city, which allows people to interact within that city. And it's not on Facebook, it's not on LinkedIn, it's not on Twitter, but just a community website and interactive platform for a specific city, a district, a community of people, or a religious group. So there are so many social media that it's difficult to even keep track of what they do and what their activities are, right? So this really is the universe of social media. I wanted to share this slide with you only to give you an idea of the scope of social media. It is humongous. Of course, we only get exposed to a few of them, but given the specialization that social media will evolve into, it is important as a social media marketer to know that your potential is endless. You can become a social media marketer for a small community of people. You can become a social media marketer for only a specific kind of business. So you might say, my specialization is only travel industry. I want to do social media marketing because that is where my knowledge is best. My knowledge is best in travel. I understand the travel industry. I have been in this industry for the last 10 years and I understand the inside and out. I want to create a travel industry social media marketing company which only helps people who run travel companies. And therefore, using any of these tools, you can actually start talking to those people in that specific community. That is how micro social media will evolve into in the future, right? So your potential is limitless. So it's not necessarily that you only have to be a Facebook expert or a Twitter expert. Your potential is limitless as we go ahead. So even though there are so many, which are the most popular ones. Does anyone want to make a guess? Okay, we'll move forward from there. But first, let's set up the global context of where we are globally, right? If you look at the global numbers, the total population of the world is 7.75 billion people, of which 55% of humanity lives in urban cities. Total number of mobile phone users globally is 5.19 billion, which means 67% of humanity owns a mobile phone. That is a huge number. That is truly a huge number, and that has been made possible probably in the last 5 years with campaigns that have run through India, through China, through South Asia, through many countries, where they have made it possible for even the poorest people to have mobile connectivity. And there is a reason for that. The government realizes the power and the capabilities of the internet. There are lots of negative sides, we will not discuss on that, but there is also a lot of positive side about giving people access to internet, giving people access to telecommunications and connectivity. It is an established fact by economists that a country moves forward the better people get connected with each other, because the more people connect, they are more able to conduct business, the more they are able to generate new ideas. Therefore, connecting people has to be an important objective for various countries. The fact that Jio was giving away phones for free for a very long time was a very, very important reason, because it helped most of India, or a large part of India, get connected to the world. Today, uh, regardless of social economic background, a person is able to access YouTube, a person is able to access Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and he has now become a part of the global connected community, right? So that 5.19 billion penetration is also extremely important for the world to move ahead, because the world is digitizing, as we all know. Yeah, of those 5.19 billion people, 4.54 billion are actually internet users. So more than half the population of the world is on the internet. They are in some form or the other, are connected on the internet, right? And that's about 59%. Like I said, I'm sorry, there's a typo here. It's not urbanization. That is penetration, which is 59% of the global population is actually on the internet. And similarly, almost half of those people are on the social media or in some form or the other. The active social media users in the world are 3.8 billion, which is almost half of the population, which is 49%. 49% of the world population, regardless of where they are on some social media network or the other. So what does that actually tell us? That it is a platform that will help propel the population of the globe forward. And the other thing which is very interesting to see is that in the last 1 year, your global population grew by 1.1%, which was, we added, say, 82 million people in the world. We added actually more people on mobiles, and we added even more people on the internet. But if you look at the number of people who have joined social media, in 1 year, 320 million people joined joined social media networks of some form or the other. And that's about the population of the United States. So almost the population of the United States every year joins social media, even though there are lesser people being born. Which means what? That the penetration of social media is going deep and deep across the world. and it is growing faster than the population growth of the globe. What are the biggest social media in the world? Facebook. I mean, I think we all know this. Facebook is 2.449 billion people on just Facebook as a platform. It is the world's biggest social media platform. And the reason I have put this out here is what I have done is I have tried to compare it to the population of Europe and the population of Africa. The population of Europe is 747 million people. The population, I'm talking about the entire continent. The population of Africa, the entire continent, is 1.3 billion people. They are still lesser than the number of people that are on Facebook. If you look at the population of just both the Americas together, both the American continents, North America, South America, they are lesser than the population that is on Facebook. That is how huge social media is. And if you look at the numbers of YouTube or the number of WhatsApp users, we're talking about a large chunk of humanity that exists on these social media networks. And that should tell you about, there is not one single television channel, there is not single radio channel, there is no single newspaper which can claim similar numbers at all. If you look at as a media, there is no media that is comparable to the size of any of these social media networks, right? And that truly is the power and potential of social media. So being a social media expert exposes you to large chunks of humanity. It is not just one local newspaper or one local radio station, etc., etc. So what about India? So the one thing that you actually land up seeing is that less than 30% of India is actually on social media. We have a population of 1.37 billion people. 78% of Indians own mobile phones. That is a 1.06 billion people in India own mobile phones. Of that, 687.6 million people actually are internet users, right? So that's about a 50% penetration, and this has been largely possible thanks to the proliferation of mobile phones, like the Geo network has brought internet to everybody. The other thing that actually the one of the biggest things that Geo has been able to attain or manage is the fact that voice search has become one of the largest ways for people to search data. So I might be somebody, say, who is uneducated, but I don't have, and I can't write or type or any of those things. But I can just pick up my Geo phone, go to YouTube and say, Arijit Singh music. And it will show me the songs that are for Arijit. So search as a voice-based search has also exploded in the country because of the penetration of mobile phones, penetration of internet reaching those people. Today, people are able to find any data, any information they want because of voice search. Again, a huge thing because of the reach of mobile phones. And you have active social media users in the range of 400 million in the country. That's only about 30% roughly of the population of the country. So even though we are reaching a large chunk of humanity overall with social media, India's potential is still very, very vast. So if you're looking at getting into social media marketing, the world is your oyster right now. Even if you say that I want to become a social media marketer within India, I feel that over the next 10 years, the potential for social media marketing is huge. Look at it, only 30% of India is currently on social media. As India progresses, we become a bigger country, we become a more, our GDP grows. the number of people who will come onto social media looking for interactivity, looking to expand their business will only grow. And that is where the potential lies for you to become social media marketers. Because as those numbers rise, and of course, India will only become bigger in population. Tomorrow, we could be bigger than China in a few years, right? Then the potential of that social media marketing becomes even bigger, right? So that is again an important number to see. Yeah. In terms of growing, in terms of growth, if you look at how many numbers India has joined, we are growing at 48% year on year. Over 2019, if you in Jan 2019, if you look at the numbers versus Jan 2020, if you look at the numbers, there has been a 48% growth in the number of people who have started using social media. 130 million people have joined social media from India in the last 1 year. That is a huge number, right? So again, like I said, the potential for social media marketing is growing. I can see it because the number of calls we get, even today, even in the lockdown, we are getting calls from clients who otherwise could not have, who had a very regular business, but today want to take their business on internet because at least in the lockdown, courier services are working so they can reach their customers. So I have people who own shoe stores, for example, approaching us and saying, how can you help me sell my shoes using social media to people in the region? So we are doing those plans with them. So that is how the market will evolve. Of course, the lockdown will be over whenever it is over, but the importance of social media, the importance of social media marketing is not going to diminish. It is only going to rise. If you look at these numbers, there is a large population of people who are moving into social media and therefore the need for social media marketing will increase. And another thing that is happening is there is a huge change in the social consumption of media. What is today? There was a global research that was done. Sorry, this is for Indians. When Indians between the age of 16 to 60 were asked and how they spend their time in the day, the number of people who said using the internet for something or the other, they spend 6 hours on the internet in some form of the area. It could be social media, it could be listening to streaming music, it can be watching videos on social media, it could be for office work, whatever. In a day, an average person spends 6.5 hours on social media, on the internet, out of which an average person spends around 2 hours 24 minutes on social media. Now look at the number that is comparable to TV. An average person watches about 3 hours of TV in a day. I know for a fact, I myself don't watch so much TV, but I spend a lot of time on, say, streaming services like Netflix or Amazon Prime, and those are those kind of things. The fact really remains is that traditional media is seeing a quick decline, whereas social media and internet usage is really shooting up. And that is why the main source of information for a large chunk of people, and especially younger people who are a large component of this country, is the internet and social media. A lot of people today don't subscribe to newspapers. They don't even see, television channel, news channels. Their source of information is social media, because I can also go and see Aaj Tak on Facebook. I can go and see live stream of NDTV on Facebook, and I will choose and whatever snippets I want to see, I can see those. I don't need to see the 24-hour broadcast. I can choose the video I want to see on their page and consume only that. So that change in social structure is also kind of happening at the same time. And this has been made possible only because, the huge proliferation of smartphones in the country, right? If you look at the number of people, how people are accessing internet, mobile phones alone are about 74.3% of that population, right? The rest is, laptops and tablets and stuff like that. 74%, 75% of people access the internet in some form or the other, even for social media, through the smartphone. And today you get smartphones for as less as 3,000, 2,000, 5,000 rupees. So it is becoming easier for people who are even from not very affluent backgrounds to afford a smartphone and get immediate access to social media, to to the internet and all its various services. However, there is a large chunk of people who are younger in age who are currently on social media. But that doesn't mean that people from the older age are not joining. Every year we are seeing that more and more people from the older age groups are also joining social media. And that is probably also because as people get older, their habits don't change. So you will see more and more movement towards older ages as you keep going. So I am in my 40s right now. Maybe when I become 50 plus, I will still be on social media. So that tower will keep going up there. So currently it started with younger people, but then you will see as people become older, their consumption habits will remain the same, but more and more people in the older age groups will start adopting social media. Unfortunately, today social media is largely young, male dominated. Very few women are on social media, and that has probably got to do with the fact that most parents in India are not comfortable giving their daughters smartphones, because they don't want other issues to come up. So we see a much lesser penetration amongst women, but as our social structure evolves, I believe that you will see more and more girls and women joining social media as we go ahead. Most used social media in India, the largest, like I said, has become YouTube now. YouTube has overtaken Facebook, primarily because of voice search. More people can easily access content on YouTube by just making a voice search on their mobile phone versus Facebook. So earlier, Facebook used to be the number one, social media in the country. But voice search has totally changed that, and YouTube has become the number one platform in India, followed by Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. So really, that is the way it is. And popular social medias in India still remain FB Messenger, Twitter, LinkedIn. TikTok is becoming huge. It's the next big challenger that everybody is. In fact, the amount of TikTok use in India is probably larger than anywhere else in the world. Pinterest, Skype, Snapchat, all these are doing very, very well in India. If you look at why India is an important country for social media, I don't know how many of you know, but for Facebook, India is the number one country. India gives more people to Facebook than anywhere else in the world. So you are the number one country. So the most important country for Facebook today is India. And there is a reason, because China does not allow Facebook to be used in their country. They have their own social media network out there. But therefore, India, which is the second most populous country in the world, is actually the number one country for Facebook. They get the most amount of traffic from here. And think about it. Today, you are already the number one country for Facebook. And only 30% of your people are on social media. Think what will happen 5 years from now. You will overtake all possible numbers. It's unimaginable the number of people who will be on Facebook purely out of India. Yeah. So if you look at the amount of traffic, top websites that have from India, you have Google, which gets 5 billion visits, 5 billion with a B. and an average visit time of say around 10 minutes, right? And about 7 pages at every point. So these are, again, as you become a social media marketer, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but most of you who aren't, these are very important parameters to judge the success of a website. The total traffic, which is the number of visits, the time spent in that visit. So, and the number of pages the person has visited. These are parameters that we track as social media marketers, and it's very important to keep a track of how these numbers are moving up and down, because that is how you judge the success of a website or a campaign about driving traffic to that website, right? So you're talking about 5 billion people go to some form of some part of Google. Google has an extensive network and multiple products. It has Gmail, it has multiple other search functionality, but 5 billion visits happen out of India. 1.8 billion for 7 minutes and about 7 pages happen on Facebook. And there are a lot of, so India is an extremely important internet country globally. So there are two things happening parallel. One, as an economic power, India's importance is rising. At the same time, India's importance in the internet is also rising, right? So the more people from India are going to become active on the internet as India's GDP grows, as India's economy grows. Two things are happening parallelly at the same time. So the importance of India in the digital landscape will only go up. And that is very important for you as a social media marketer, because tomorrow, 10 years from now, who is to say, you could become global social media marketers. You can have clients from other parts of the world who will come to you. Like, I have international clients who come to us and say, we want to reach Indian customers and Indian consumers. How can you help us do that? Right? So think of that potential that way. India's economy is growing, international brands will come in, India's reach in the internet is growing. Therefore, the marketing has to work with it and reach more and more of those customers, right? And social media is the best place to do that. Television will not be able to do it. Radio will not be able to do it. Newspaper will not be able to do it. Digital platforms like social media and Google networks, those are the only tools that will give you the vast reach that none of the other traditional media has. So what are the 10 biggest motivations of using social media? When people are asked, why do you use social media? And why is this important for you to know? This is important for you to know simply because when you are making a campaign for your customer, for your client, you need to understand what is the customer's motivation so you can make your ads accordingly. So a large chunk of people say to stay in touch with what my friends are doing. That is the top reason people go to social media. To stay up to date with current events and news. That's 41% of people. To fill up spare time. So kuch log time pass ke liye bhi jate hain social media. Obviously, if you have free time, you don't know what to do, you go and check your Facebook page, you check Instagram. So there is time pass that also that is happening. To find funny and entertaining content. I have, we all follow some joke profile or something like that, some memes that are coming out here because it's a good, funny thing that is quickly consumed. That is the other thing about the social media. It's all quick consumption content. We are looking for quick laughs and quick happiness that is coming from social media through one meme or a short video, that kind of stuff. General networking with other people look for example, jobs. I will go and start networking, say, with somebody in a company, make him my friend, because tomorrow I would probably want to work in their company, and it would be nice to know somebody who works in that company. So general networking with people is also a good objective, because a lot of my friends are on social media. So in fact, that was the one primary reason why social media grew so fast. The growth and explosion of social media has happened because everybody realized that their friends are on social media. So I should also be on social media. I want to see what my friends are doing. So a lot of people started joining social media just for that. To share photos and videos with others. So it's a very common thing. People go for a vacation and then they come back and they post tons of pictures about how they enjoyed their vacation. That is also something that is very popular. People want to tell and share what they have been up to, how they are doing, etc. 30% of the people say they wanted to share their opinion, to research and find products to buy, 29%. This is something that is one of the biggest reasons why brands are moving to social media in large numbers. Currently, it is about 30% of people, but in our assessment, all consumers today start their search by talking to a friend on social media. If I'm looking to buy a fridge today, I might ask a friend on social media, can you recommend a fridge? I'm looking to buy a car, I might ask a friend who has bought a car recently on social media, you bought a car, which are the other good cars that I can consider, right? So that interactivity, that asking and consulting with each other is something that the marketers have also noticed, and that is why they have started coming in large numbers on social media, because they know they want to become part of that discussion. So when you're considering purchasing a product, they want to be available there with an option for you, right? And of course, to meet new people. Like I said, the largest part of social media is the community aspect, right? So I want to find people who have like-minded passions, just like the way I do, right? Social media users also influence business. 81% of people said that they were influenced by social media posts by friends when it comes to purchasing something. So a friend might post, I have just bought a Ford Endeavor, and people will say, oh yes, and then they will remember, okay, Ford Endeavor, next time I am buying a car. Other people have liked social media company pages for discounts and offers, which is a regular thing a lot of companies do. Come to our page, follow our page, like our page, and we will offer you a discount. 78% made purchases based on a company's social media post. That is what people are claiming, that they saw a page from a company who had advertised their products on social media. There was something interesting about it. They were able to interact with the salesperson there and there, and they decide, okay, this is the product I want to buy. 74% research social media before making a purchase decision. So actually people are going onto social media. See, another thing that you have to realize is, instead of going to, say, the website of 5 different car buyers, I can go to the social media pages of 5 different car companies, and actually see what are the comments of people that have been left there. I get more information on a social media page of a car company than I will get on their website. And when I say about information, I don't mean about technical specifications and stuff like that. I get information about how other customers are reacting to that product. So if I am looking for an SUV, I will go to the Facebook page of 5 different SUV companies and see how they have, how customers of theirs are reacting to the product. So that helps me make a purchase decision. Yeah. And 71% of people claim that they are likely to make a purchase based on social media reference, which could be, I get a discount code from a company saying, please advertise it to your 5 friends and we will give you additional discount. I can share that as a referral to my friend, or I can just recommend saying, I had a great experience with X car. So please, please consider it next time. And that is a great way for businesses to generate more, business for themselves. So what are the benefits of social media marketing for businesses? One, 85% of them said it gave them increased exposure. 69% of those businesses claim it increased traffic for them to their website. So the more people coming to your website, the more your business is likely to grow. 65% said it provided marketplace insight, which means they could understand how customers are reacting to their product or how competition is reacting to their product. They were able to do that research on social media. They were able to generate business leads, develop loyal fans. So, for example, if you go and see the page of Facebook for, say, Royal Enfield, makers of Bullet motorcycles, you should go and see how customers of the Bullet react and engage with that brand. Right? That is how deep loyalty is created. for a brand because of the activities that are done by the company around the social media page. Right? Improved search rankings. This is a large part of digital marketing, but a good comprehensive presence on your social media pages also helps you generate business on your website overall. The other thing is, of course, 51% said they were able to grow their business partnerships because of social media. They were able, 46% said they reduced marketing expenses thanks to social media. And 40% said that it improved sales. Of course, because if you have such a large chunk of humanity on social media, then of course you will reach more people, you will get more exposure, and of course, ultimately it will give you improved sales. No other medium today has the potential that social media has, because you can also run the same ad that you run on television, which will reach probably a local population. You can run it on social media and it will reach a global population. So the potential for sales grows up even higher. Social media actually drives business. And if you look at specific social media and what it does, so if you start from here, 20%, 26% of Facebook users who clicked on an ad on Facebook reported they were making a purchase. Therefore, 93% of marketers use Facebook advertising regularly, which translates to about 3 million businesses that use Facebook to market their business. You have 3 million businesses who are claiming that they are on Facebook trying to generate business for themselves. 3 million companies are using WhatsApp for business, right? And approximately 42 billion texts are sent and 1.6 billion photos are shared through WhatsApp daily. It's a huge platform. LinkedIn makes more than 50% of social traffic to the B2B websites and blogs. I don't know how many of you understand B2B. It's a business to business platform. So like say IndiaMart and stuff like that, those are business to business platforms. 50% of traffic comes from one social media, which is LinkedIn. And 79% of B2B marketers see LinkedIn as an effective source of lead generation. That is the potential of these individual social media. Twitter, I was telling you, it is a great platform for somebody who owns a new business. 85% of small and medium business users use Twitter to provide customer service. It's the best way to get your customers to leave a complaint and get back to them, right? And when it comes to Instagram, 60% of users learn about new products via other profiles on Instagram. Yeah, 150 million hours of YouTube is now watched by people every day, right? And average brand videos are on the average about 31 to 60 seconds long. So if you're looking at an ad of 30 seconds or to 60 seconds, and every day people are looking at 150 million hours of YouTube, just do the arithmetic to see the scope and the potential of just YouTube to help you sell your brand. Why social media works? Social media is influential in decision making. It helps people make quick decisions. Social media was identified as influential by 40% of respondents across generational categories in their decision making related to travel. So if you look at, like I was explaining, specific categories, the influence of social on on that business is very high. So 25% of people, for example, believe if they're making a financial services decision, social media has been important in helping them make that decision. So financial services are like banking, insurance, loans, all those kind of things. 25% of respondents said that a social media campaign helped them make that decision easier. 22% of people felt that it helped them make a retail decision to go into a shop and buy something. And 21% felt it was in healthcare. So there is a large degree of influence that social media has on business decision making. People seek advice on social media. That is why social media works. More than 1/3 of the respondents, 38%, said they were likely to seek travel advice on social media. right? So I'm saying social media is also a great place for people to go and seek advice. Also, it doesn't matter what age group you are. You can find a community and you can find resources that will help you make some sort of decision. Third person effect also plays a role. A lot of people feel that अरे मुझे इतना influence नहीं है, उसको influence है तो होता होगा, मतलब social media must be important. Therefore, they will try and buy, influenced by social media. The other thing is that if you look at general marketing, word of mouth, I'm sure, is a term a lot of people have heard. Word of mouth, especially from close friends and family, is considered one of the most influential source of for making purchase decisions. You are more likely to listen to a friend or a family member when it comes to a purchase decision, especially if it's a large purchase decision. Something like a car or a fridge. They are big decisions. It's a product that will last with you for many years. So you will want to check with people, what is the better brand, what is the better product, what are the better features to go for. And all of that is something that social media allows you to do by connecting to the most relevant people, like your close friends and family. That is why social media works. And of course, word of mouth, like I said, still reigns as the most influential channel. Benefits of social media: you get more exposure through social media. If you look at an average hour of a person today, in that average hour, the person is spending more time on social media than he's spending on anything else. Entertainment, shopping, business, email, lifestyle, news, travel, anything else. In an average hour, a person spends more time on social media. Therefore, exposure for a brand on social media is what he gets. Getting more exposure as a business owner, you want, people spend more time on social media. It also helps to search more information through social connections. Use social media to showcase your brand. 70% of business owners are using social media for brand awareness. They just want to tell people that my brand exists. It is today, and I recommend that to most of my clients, it is today the cheapest way to publicize your product. I can spend as little as 1,000 rupees and I can reach people in Delhi who could be interested in my brand. Or I can spend, so the minimum budget that Facebook says you should spend in a day is 500 rupees. If I want to publicize my brand today for as little as 500 rupees, social media is the best platform. Can you ever think of running an ad on a radio station or a television station or in a newspaper for 500 rupees? Not possible. Even if it's a local newspaper and just caters to, say, one small region in that city, it will still charge you more money than social media does. Social media can generate more awareness for cheaper. No other medium comes even close. Attracting new customers in existing markets, 52% have claimed that. Why does that happen? Because today, like, I live in a society, right? My society has its own Facebook page. Anybody who wants to today market his product in my society can use the page with the permission of my society members to reach the people in that society. People are creating pages for even their societies and clubs and stuff like that. If I want to reach that audience, for 500 rupees a day, I can reach that audience. Similarly, if I have a passion, say suppose I love golf, right? Tomorrow, if a golf manufacturer wants to sell me some kit, he can just approach the pages that I follow, and I will learn about their product. It allows them to me to find out about the product and me to then inquire about that product, right? Interaction with customers. So a lot of people today are using social media to interact with customers. One of the biggest problems people had earlier in in say online purchasing was trust. That do I trust this product is okay or not? So if I go to Amazon and I see a product listed, if it is a popular brand, okay, there is very little doubt in my mind. But suppose it is a local brand, how do I build trust with that brand? I would rather go to social media page of that brand, start talking to the owners. They can tell me about their brand, they can talk to me about their brand, they can sell it to me there and then. Also think of somebody who's saying has a small business, very small business, say somebody who makes jewelry at home, who wants to sell their this thing. They are not a known brand. How do they build brand awareness? How do they generate trust amongst their customers? By interacting with customers, they will be able to build that trust. And that is what social media enables business owners to do, right? Hear what customers are saying on social media. That is also very, very important for business. Suppose I make a product and I get no customer feedback. I will not know what is working, what is not working. Do people like all the features that I have? Maybe tomorrow people want me to add another feature to my product. Or if I make jewelry, people might turn around and say, I want it in this color. I don't write like this because the thread breaks or something like that, right? That information that I get directly back from the customers is very, very important for my business, because people are brutal. They will go to your social media page and they will complain about you if they don't like anything. But if they like something, they will also come and say that I really liked this. So as a business owner, it is very important for me to get that feedback from my customers, and that helps me grow my business. Generate leads through social media. So generate leads means what? It means that I am able to go and discover new customers because I have a social media page. I go and advertise it. I start generating more followers. I make offers. I make deals. I start going to communities. I'm able to generate more leads. Leads are more important than, I don't know how many of you know the concept of push marketing versus pull marketing. Pull marketing is what social media helps you do. Push marketing is where I throw an ad into the world and hope that something will come out of it. Pull is where I create something and people are attracted towards it. And that is what helps social media do. So not only am I attracting new customers, I'm able to interact with them. And therefore, while I'm chatting with them, say on a Facebook Messenger or whatever, they are able to interact with me and immediately close the deal. So I have a friend who manufactures ladies' shoes. I think I mentioned the example earlier. She has a Facebook page and an Instagram page. She generates almost 300 sales a month purely out of Facebook and Instagram interactions with people. She posts a picture of her new shoe. People chat with her. She says, my price is this much. People say, okay, I'll pay you this much lesser. She's like, okay. And they take the address and sends it to people. That is how it has enabled people to generate leads on social media. So what I told you was for a very small business, but think of the potential for a very large business. They can actually put a process in place which allows them to generate leads through putting a total pipeline of lead generation, which is a higher level of digital marketing, which we'll probably come to at a later stage. Right? Social media attracts more customers. I think that we have already covered as a point. People above 65 to use social media, right? So, like I said, when people were asked, how often do they go online? Even the elderly are now increasing the amount of time that they spend on social media, and it's a daily increase. Daily, they are spending more and more and more time on social media. And that is also good because they also are able to interact with people instead of just being stuck at home. Right? Build relationships with potential customers. So that is what, like I said, if I have a personal rapport with the owner of some business, I am more likely to go back to that person to purchase again. And that helps. Social media helps me build that relationship with my customers. So the next time my customer wants to buy the product, He just has to come on Facebook and say available hai. He'll say yes sir, aapke liye hai, and 5% ka discount. I will make the decision there and then. So that interactivity has helped me build a relationship between the owner and the customer. That is the power of social media. And because of that interactiveness, ultimately in the end, I'm able to build loyalty for my products and my services. And another part of digital marketing is basically ranking higher. So I don't know how many of you know about that aspect of search engine marketing, which is about how do I rank my business higher in search results. But we'll probably come to that on a later place. But social media marketing also helps digital marketing overall, because the more active I am on my social media pages, the better my website will rank when people search for my products or services, right? And quality. A lot of people now decide what they want to purchase on social networking sites. So for example, the quality of leads that you generate helps me generate better leads out of social media than any other business. I reach only those specific audiences and generate leads from them. So that, I think, is my time. If anybody of you have any questions, or I'd be happy to answer them at any time. Pooja?
Okay, I'm here. Can you, let me just turn on the camera. Okay, it was a wonderful, it was going wonderful, and I've been receiving comments also, like we are learning a lot from here. So let's take a few questions, or you'd like to like have some of your queries answered. I mean, you want to give a question, you want to let people ask question, or let me ask you questions first?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So we have Preeti Bansal. She's saying, sir, I'm pursuing digital marketing course and want to do specialization in SMM. That is social media marketing. Yep. So please let me know if you have any opportunity for me. Okay.
Preeti, I would tell you, please build your own opportunities. Like I just told you today, the opportunities on social media marketing are endless. I would say gain your own experience today. Go and start popularizing anybody in your family, their business. You're already a digital marketing person. Start using social media to popularize your business, their business. You will learn better while doing that than you will do while working somewhere else.
Right. Amanpreet Kaur, she wants to know what's the impact of social media in retail industry and it's beneficial for the business.
So even if you look at just the retail industry, if you look at just the influence part of social media, 25% of people today claim that they are influenced of buying a product through what they have seen on social media.
Yeah.
So if you look at, again, retail is a very, very wide category. If you, even within retail, you have fashion retail, or you have, accessories retail, or you have electronics retail, whatever you look at. Today, the most important thing to remember is you will always refer to a social media referral from a friend or from a family member before you make a purchase. So if you have heard of a brand called Zara, it is a very popular brand amongst women. One of the best places for people to learn what Zara has in its new product category is through social media. People go and check out what are the new fashions on their Instagram page, on their Facebook page. What is the new design for this season, and you pick up stuff from there. And Zara today claims almost 60% of their business comes from social media reference. So it is very, very important for them to be also, present on social media.
Right. We do not have the name. It's not given. They are saying, good morning, sir. Amazing session. I have my own page on Instagram related to different posts on beauty and lifestyle. Can I go for paid campaign to get more attention?
Absolutely. Instagram is a wonderful platform, and you've chosen the perfect platform for something that is beauty related. What I would recommend to you is that the videos are the most popular form of content that exists on Instagram. Create nice videos, short videos. See, the other thing is about on social media is that your content should be small. uh, I don't know how many of you understand, but today's generation is a thumb generation. Everything is moving very fast, right? So you have to make your content short and easy to consume. So if you're doing beauty products, make a 1 minute video, 45-second video, put it on Instagram, and you will see, and yes, of course, a paid campaign will help you grow your exposure, definitely.
Okay, great. So I think the short videos get more views.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a good question from Sumit Bhardwaj. He's saying, what's the best time to post? And what type of content should I post on social media to increase my business?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. 5 years ago, when the mobile penetration wasn't very high, there used to actually be a time band in which we used to, and days that we used to choose to post.
Yeah.
So we used to say, because a lot of people didn't have PCs at home, they were accessing social media, say from office and stuff like that. That time, when on Saturday and Sunday, we used to see a dip in social media usage, right? And we used to see that the consumption was only happening between, say, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 8 p.m. That was it. Beyond that, suddenly social media usage used to fall down. Today, everything has changed. Like I showed you, almost 80% of your consumption is happening on mobile phone. People stay with their mobile phone more than they stay with their wives. Right? So they are consuming social media at all times. There is no time limitation. But still, if I was to give you advice, I would say between 9 a.m. to 12 in the night, any time is good, because people are, before they go to sleep, they will still see, last thing they will see their Instagram page before they sleep.
Yeah.
So 9 a.m. to 12 is a good time any day of the week. No Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. People's phones are with them more than anything else. So they will still access your product.
That has actually become a part of daily regime. You wake up in the morning, you check your WhatsApp or Facebook, and then you start your day.
Absolutely. And you end your day also before sleeping, you see last time before and go to sleep.
Right. So we have Amanpreet Kaur asking another question: how social media is beneficial for customers and businessmen in this lockdown period?
Oh, fantastic question. Actually, it is very important. Like I gave you an example, the number of people who are coming to me today saying that I was planning to launch my business, or like, for example, I have a couple of clients. One of my clients is somebody who is going to be ordering, he was about to launch an atta which had a lot of protein in it, protein reinforced atta. And he was looking at distributing his product and, sell it through shops. Today, that is not possible. He has changed his complete business model, and now he's going to sell it off his social media, and we are going to be helping him do that, because you can place the order on the social media page, on his website, anything, and he will ship it to you. So even in the lockdown, a digital approach will be easier to do than doing a traditional model. So if you have a small website, your social media pages, you are ready to do business, because at least the couriers are working. So you can ship your product to anybody, anywhere in the country. Of course, there will be some delays, but at least there is no stopping your business, because markets will open and shut. But if you're running your business from home, then there is nothing stopping you from doing it.
Yeah, right. And Mr. Vijay Mathur is saying, please tell stats of people about the social media halfway, maybe age-wise. I think he wants to distinction of like how many teenagers are watching, or how many elderly are watching, or are viewer on social media. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I had shared that in my slide, but if you look at the age group from 13 to 36, that alone is about 70-80% of the social media. The elderly, like I said, are now coming on. The last few years, we have seen people of the older generation coming on, but they are probably just 10-15% of the users right now. They are expected to grow as we go ahead.
Okay. Somebody's saying, is it better to do a job as a digital marketer or build your own brand?
That's a personal choice. That's a personal choice. I cannot guide you on that. I have done it from both sides and I've enjoyed it from both sides. So I had my own reasons to start my own business. It gives you more control about what you do and allows you to do. It gives you the freedom to run your business the way you want it. Working for somebody somewhere else is also very important. I learned more while I worked for other companies.
Yeah.
I got the exposure, right? And then I started my business. So if you're in your early stages of career, my recommendation would be get the experience, spend at least a good 10 years getting exposure across various categories, various situations, various circumstances, and then think about starting your business. But I always encourage people to become entrepreneurs. So good luck.
Okay, so basically ये हो गया ना कि हम अपना एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करने के से पहले सीख के आए.
Absolutely.
We are already experienced with within the same field, so there is a more probability that our business will grow.
Yeah.
From,
And I'm saying you can also do it side by side. You can have your own family business, which you can learn on and you can experiment on while doing a job. Right? Tomorrow, then take up another neighbor's business. Slowly grow your business on the side while you're working. I mean, who's stopping you?
Right. So Saurabh Kedar is saying, if someone goes for building a social media career now in 2020, will this industry bloom further, or will this field grow ahead in a decade?
Oh, huge. I just showed you that India's potential is massive. Or the penetration of social media is only 30% in India right now.
Yeah.
Imagine when it grows to say double of that. When we have 30% exposure only, India has become the #1 country for Facebook. Think when the exposure becomes 50%, 60%, Indians will rule social media. I mean, literally in many ways we do right now. So think of the amount of customers potential customers that will exist on social media. So therefore, the potential is huge. Again, as I said, going ahead, I think the business is going to become specialists. So you will have specialist social media marketers, where you will have people who use social media or companies who are only going to look at, say, travel and entertainment or only at those kind of things, because the branching has already started. Like I showed you that wheel with the number of social media, it will become specialized in that sense. So potential is limitless. Absolutely. There is no limit to it. Social media is replacing television. It is replacing, think of your own life. How much time are you spending on social media versus how much you're actually looking on TV? When was the last time you read a newspaper? Do you even get a newspaper in lockdown? A lot of people have discontinued their newspapers in lockdown.
E-newspaper nowadays.
Yeah, e-newspaper, but that also you see for 2 minutes headlines and move away. But you're spending 6 hours on social media. Still, that is the difference. The whole structure of media is changing. So yes, the potential is high.
Yeah, great. And there is a question, how do I build good amount of traffic while doing social media marketing and show people that I have a unique quality of product or some specifics about my product? So how to build
okay, so that is a whole lecture on its own, how to build traffic. But the most important thing that you need to remember when you're doing social media marketing is understanding who your customer is and what are the likes and dislikes of your customer. The more information you have about your customer, so if I know that I am selling a product So I'm an advertising agency, right? Even I generate my business on social media.
Yep.
What I do is I understand the problems my customers are facing. And then I create content which I'm constantly sending out to them saying, in the lockdown, your advertising agency is shut down. I am still working. Please contact me. Right? So that is how I'm able to generate. So I understand the problem. Their advertising agency office is shut down. They are not able to work. But I'm a digital company. I'm able to work from wherever I am.
Right.
So you talk about the benefits of your services, your products, understanding the problems your customers are facing. That is the most critical thing, and build your communication, your content around solving those problems. The customers will come themselves.
Okay, guys, and this is not a one-day lecture. I'd like to say, as you want to learn more about social media, Ashutosh sir will be with us on June 4th, 8th, 11th, 13th, and 16th. So this is a complete certification program, the online certification program that is going on. And yes, once you are registered, you do not need to register all the time, but still you can join all the sessions. And of course, there will be a Q&A at the end of the complete course, and that will provide you a certification. So this is a complete certification course. Do attend all the sessions. Yes, sir. Let's proceed. So many questions are there. I think we can have them on email.
Sure.
And we can get them answer on the next session. Right?
Sure.
And next session, we will have interactive. People will be coming on screen and talking live with you. And any question, any queries they have, they can post, of course, and do attend all the sessions. Okay. And I'll first like to announce the winner of yesterday's selfie contest. It's Sushil Chauhan. Sushil Chauhan is from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So congratulations, Sushil ji, for winning this selfie contest. And I think
Congratulations.
आज भी सबने सेल्फी लिया होगा आपके साथ और आपकी presentation के साथ, because I'm getting so much demand that you share the presentation by email.
Sure.
Okay, so with this, the selfie, and do share your creativity, your ideas, your creativity, your your feedback on social media. Of course, it's a social media session going on, and I'll also promote my social media handles, Media Entertainment Skills Council and Vidyadaan. Do create your videos, short videos, and post, tag us, and you can be a winner of Creative Me contest. Your feedback is really important to us. We can have it on vidyadaan@mescindia.org. Anything you'd like to say, our social media handles are always there to reply to any of your query. Do attend all the sessions, and I'd like to inform you, we have given you ample of time to practice for the next class of Ashutosh sir, social media. Till then, tomorrow we have a free online masterclass on smartphone filmmaking. It's from the program director at myfirstfilm.org, Mr. Ritesh Taksande. So tomorrow, 11 a.m. This is a 3-day course, and this is also a certification program. Smartphone filmmaking will come up with another exciting competition for you, and you can get a chance to meet industry experts, and I'll disclose it tomorrow in the session, whom you can meet being the winner of smartphone filmmaking. From June 2nd, June 3rd, we have international certification program by Majors Institute of Excellence, Singapore. That will give you complete insights on animation and gaming industry. And of course, how to get noticed and get hired in the industry. Our chairman and renowned Indian filmmaker, renowned educationist, our honorable chairman, Mr. Subhash Ghaiji, is coming on June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. So that's a tea time with Subhash Ghai sir, and you can get a live interaction with Mr. Ghai during the session. So do register yourself. Visit www.vidyadaan.net. Register for all the sessions, get learned and get educated and get trained and get certified. So you are industry ready once the lockdown is over. With this note, I'd like to say thank you so much for attending our session today, and make sure you attend all the classes to get certified, because 90% attendance is a must to get a certification, okay, at the end of the course, after the Q&A, of course. So with this note, I'll say thank you so much, sir, and we'll see you on the next session on June 4th.
Sure.
And
I'm
thank you,
looking forward.
everybody. Take care, stay safe. Corona is still there. So make sure when you step out, you have a mask, and stay safe. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.